Well, textiles and fabrics are essential to human life, especially with the clothes we wear. But cheap and trendy options, known as fast fashion, pose some problems for the environment. The Boston Consulting Group says humans produce at least 92 million tons of textile waste every year. But there is research being done right here in the Northland that could one day slow the harmful effects of fast fashion, and we are going to learn about it today. This is Abby Clarke-Sather from UMD, an associate professor and a researcher. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. I would love to start with a little bit about why recycling fabrics and textiles is so difficult.
Yeah, so one of the things is really just that volume that you mentioned. So in the US, there are 17 million tons of textiles that are thrown out every year, and only 15% of them are recycled. And so there's just, although reuse is the best option, we also need to be considering recycling as one way to deal with the problem.
Yeah. How does, okay, so let's talk about this because you're working on it. You have a machine that does this?
Yeah, so myself and my graduate student actually created the fiber shredder, which takes fabric samples, so like this, and then turns them into nice kind of fluffy fibers that can be reused.
Very interesting. And this is happening right here in Duluth?
Yeah, this is at UMD.
Wow.
And so the thing that's really unique about our fibers that come out, if you look at what other machines can do, you can see it's kind of cut into small pieces. So this is cotton. And then this is what our machine does with 100% cotton. You get fibers and yarns. And then there you have polyester, and so you can see what other industrial machines can do for recycling, and then what ours does. It turns it into a nice fluffy fiber.
Wow.
And this fiber you can actually use to spin. It's long enough that you can spin it into yarn again.
No way.
Up to 2 inches in length.
Oh, that is so interesting. So how does it work? You feed a piece of fabric in and then the machine just goes, this is what I'm picturing in my head.
Yeah, so there are toothed drums, and you take one of these strips and you can feed it into the machine, and it actually works by sheer failure. So it's almost like it's pulling it apart.
Oh, wow.
Whereas some of the other machines, it's more acts by tensile failure, which it's like it's cutting different yarns.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the unique thing that really gets the fiber to kind of pull apart from the yarns and kind of maintains that length and integrity.
How do you picture this being used in the future, like on a broader scale?
Well, that's really exciting because we're actually partnering with True North Goodwill, and the idea is to take this lab scale invention and create a commercial scale version that we can actually test at their facility with their discarded apparel.
Oh, very
and so,
cool.
although they sell lots of things, resell them, there still are many tons that are left over. And so this is another way to get value. Out of that, we're going to be creating textiles.
Okay.
So this is an example of the fiber carded, so like carded polyester.
Yeah.
And then this is an actual finished textile with a biodegradable polymer film inside of cotton. And with this, we can use it to make landscaping fabric. And so Shoreview Natives is actually going to be testing out some of our samples for weed suppressant mats that they use when they're reseeding native plants in gardens and businesses around town.
Oh, that's great. We've featured Shoreview here on the lift before, so I'm excited to hear how that works.
Yeah.
So lots of different uses then for what you can take from just the raw material, I guess, that comes out of the fiber shredder.
I mean, I think creativity is the limit, and we're really looking for more local manufacturers or partners who want to incorporate recycled fibers and textiles into their products.
Totally. Why is this a meaningful project for you?
Well, when I grew up, my mom was thrifty, and so she bought a lot of our clothes at thrift stores.
Yep.
And so I learned that value of waste not, want not. And we still do a lot of thrifty gifts in our family. And so I think understanding that this is a problem that we all share in the world, and I wanted to make a difference.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really excited to hear more about where this goes. It's so interesting to see the end product that comes out from the simple strips of fabric. Thank you for sharing with us today. It was great to have you.
Thanks for having me.